Hello, everyone, and welcome to ECHO, a global organization. I'm Abram Bicksler, the president and CEO of ECHO. Here at ECHO, we're guided by our vision, our mission, and our motivation statement, which was recently updated as part of our next 5-year strategic framework planning cycle. Our vision is to see a transformed world honoring God by our mission, which is strengthening the capacity of a diverse global network to defeat hunger and improve lives through sustainable food and agro-ecosystem strategies. The reason we do this is because of our motivation. Our motivation is that as Jesus first loved us, as agents of restoration, we seek to glorify God and love our neighbors. ECHO is a global organization, and our core functional units of work to actually affect our mission are what we call regional impact centers. These RICs, as we also call them, are located currently in 4 regions of the world. They're located in North America, which is headquartered in Fort Myers, Florida, located in West Africa, headquartered in Burkina Faso, in East Africa, headquartered in Arusha, Tanzania, and for Asia, headquartered in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Our plans include more regional impact centers to come because we have seen how effective they are at accomplishing our mission. Why does ECHO exist? We exist for a multitude of interacting reasons. One of the reasons is we are impelled as agents of restoration because Jesus first loved us to be agents of restoration and to love our neighbors. And what does that look like? Some of you may have heard about the 1040 window. This is a map of the 1040 window. And these areas show the level of richness of the gospel in different ethno-linguistic people groups around the world. The 1040 window is that box that you see on there. And the 1040 window overlaps quite often with human development indicators and frameworks. And some of the most unreached places in the world are some of the least developed that have the greatest needs for the types of hope through agricultural strategies and options that ECHO provides. So there you can see all the red areas of the world are also some of the most difficult places to grow food and some of the places that have the least livelihood resilience in them. Now, something that's interesting about this is that the church, those green dots where the church exists in the world, are also some of the places with the greatest agricultural needs. So increasingly, we are working with the church to bring about that transforming work of ECHO in the world. So that's one reason we exist. Another reason we exist is because of the amount of hunger currently in the world today. This is a map from FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization, from November, showing some of the most food insecure regions in the world. You'll see some of the peaks. We actually have increasing food insecurity in the world. Tonight, there's about 793 million people who are going to bed hungry. And you can see if we overlaid that 1040 window map onto this map, you would see that there's a very strong correlation there. We also exist for reasons such as ecosystem degradation. There's a strong correlation between the effects that we are seeing on the planet through things like ecosystems being degraded, climate change happening, freshwater withdrawal. Agriculture is one of the greatest drivers of climate change, freshwater withdrawal, pollution, and ecosystem degradation and habitat destruction. But agriculture also has some of the greatest potential and promise for reversing those trends. So that's why we see ourselves as agents of restoration as well. We believe that God created the creation and He calls humans into relationship with Himself and to be stewards of the creation while loving our neighbors. And we do that through agriculture and through equipping, serving, partnering with the church globally to bring about true lasting change. Okay, so now, who is ECHO? What is ECHO? Whom do we serve as ECHO? I often get asked this question, in a nutshell, what is ECHO? This is my 5-second elevator speech, and I like to say ECHO is a Christian agricultural, technical networking, and resourcing organization working to defeat hunger and improve lives because we desire to glorify God and love our neighbors. I hope in this you see the echoes of our mission, our vision, and our motivation statement in there. Our approach is really about networking. We network practical innovations, options, and strategies with an incredibly diverse and incredibly historic network around the world. We serve formally about 18,500 network members around the world. And in a typical month, we'd have representatives from about 190 countries reaching out to ECHO, interacting with ECHO, interacting with each other through some of our online platforms. Who is in our network? We have large international relief and development organizations such as World Vision, Compassion International, Samaritan's Purse. We also have grassroots actors. We have local church leaders, and increasingly our network are local church leaders, regional church leaders, national church leaders. We work with agricultural missionaries and individual agriculture development workers. We work with academic institutions and researchers around the world. We also work with local governments and extension agents, and to some extent farmers and farmer cooperatives and farmer groups. So our network is diverse, and it's really fun to hear echoes of our network from around the world in touch with us. How do we achieve our mission? So this is our theoretical framework of our core functions of ECHO. The first thing we are identifying, we're actively seeking out practical and innovative options. These are options, strategies, and ideas that work. We then look to validate these options. So those are the testing of the options. Notice that all of these functions are within the network. So our network is overarching, and we're identifying options through the network. We're validating options. These are researching, testing either ourselves or in conjunction with our network. Then we're disseminating these options and strategies. Dissemination is just a fancy word for sharing. We're sharing practical ideas and strategies that work with our network and encouraging them to share these with each other as well. And this is a bulk of what ECHO has done historically and what we currently do. And then we need to do a better job at this, but we do evaluate options. We want to know, we want to be able to measure, do these options, these strategies, do they actually work? In which context do they have merit? Because agriculture is so contextually specific. Ecologies and cultures vary across the world. And so we do that through our network, with our network. And it's a pretty incredible thing to think that an organization headquartered in a small area of land in Fort Myers, Florida, is having impact in 190 countries around the world on a monthly basis. These are some of the options and strategies in which ECHO has worked and currently works. Some of the things that we're known for include sustainable agriculture. We've been working in sustainable agriculture since 1981 when ECHO was established. We work also in rooftop gardening in urban areas as well, with cities increasingly holding the vast majority of our world's population. Now over 50% of the world lives in cities. We work in urban community gardens and tire gardens, and that's a deep part of our rich history as ECHO. You'll see some of the other areas in which we work. You can't work in agriculture in a vacuum. Agriculture touches on water, culture, and energy, and so we work in community development approaches, water and sanitation. We work in alternative and renewable energy. We work in appropriate technologies, participatory approaches, seed saving and banking. In terms of all the validation that ECHO has done ourselves, this is probably the one that we have done the bulk of the work globally in. Creation care in the environment, because again, culture and beliefs influence agriculture and vice versa. As part of our motivation, as Jesus first loved us, as agents of restoration, we seek to be agents of restoration and love our neighbors. So we do that by equipping and sharing creation care and natural resource management options with our network. And in some parts of the world, we work in niche and value-added crops. We work through our regional impact centers. And I want to give just a few pictures of what those look like. Our first impact center we'll look at is West Africa. Our West Africa Impact Center is based in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, a large West African landlocked country. There's Robert, our director, outside of the ECHO office in Ouagadougou. So similarly to this North America Regional Impact Center here, where you are currently, we have a property, we have areas for training, and we have a seed bank there. They do a lot of networking and workshop and symposia around the region. These are pictures from a Burkina Faso sustainable agriculture workshop that happened last February. And there's Robert giving an overview of ECHO. They also do a lot of hands-on training. Here are examples of some of those practical innovations that work in their particular context and regions, including foundations for farming, urban gardening, and some of the appropriate technology. They do train farmer leaders as well. I like to think of ECHO that as an organization that trains the trainers. Sometimes we train the trainers' trainers as well, and that's how diverse our network is. There are times, especially in Burkina Faso and West Africa, where they actually will train individual farmers, but most often they're training farmers leaders and cooperative leaders. And here are some pictures of farmer cooperative leaders there in Burkina Faso. In Asia, our Asia Impact Center is based in Chiang Mai, Thailand, but working throughout the region. They also have a small farm resource center like we have at the North America Regional Impact Center in Fort Myers, Florida. Here's a picture of that small farm resource center. Our small farm centers are living learning laboratories where we research, demonstrate, and train on these strategies and options of practical agriculture and community development innovations. Here's some more pictures. There's one showing their low-cost seed banking option for the region, as well as rice paddies, which you'll encounter a lot of in Asia. They've done a lot of pioneering work in seed storage in the tropics. This is their NGO and community-appropriate seed bank. There are pictures of how they store seeds in very humid tropical areas there. They also have a training and conference center. So here you can see participants from around the region at the ECHO Conference Center, which is adjacent to our Farm Resource Center, doing hands-on, theoretical, practical, and hands-on training and demonstration work there at their center. There's a picture of the 200-person capacity in the center, and you're all welcome to come and visit us at our regional impact centers. Our East Africa Regional Impact Center is based in Arusha, Tanzania, and serves the Eastern African region and Southern Africa region. They specialize in tree seedlings for restoration, and this is a picture of their nursery. So they have an appropriate nursery of indigenous and local tree varieties for the region. They've learned a lot. They also host interns around the world. It's not uncommon for them to host about 25 regional interns from East Africa, with also international interns joining them at any given time. They also have a seed bank and some amount of area for demonstrating, testing, and trialing agricultural and appropriate technology techniques that are appropriate for East Africa. They put on many regional events as well. This is their biennial East Africa Sustainable Agriculture and Appropriate Technology Symposium. It's not uncommon for them to host 200 to 255 delegates, not only from East Africa, but from around the world, to learn and share together at their events. Here at the North America Regional Impact Center, we have a more diverse audience. Our audience are really English speakers who have a proximity to the North America Regional Impact Center. These would include those serving internationally who are English speakers but don't have proximity to one of our other regional impact centers. These also include the leaders, the agricultural people of organizations, mission sending agencies, etc., based in North America and using English as their primary language. Another audience for this North America Regional Impact Center would be that of those who are aspirational to serve internationally. These include students and missionaries in candidacy. And lastly, our audience at the North America Regional Impact Center are those organizations and individuals working to combat food insecurity in a North America context. Church gardens, organizations working domestically to combat food insecurity. We also have plans for future regional impact centers because we have seen this model work time and time again. So we will launch a South Asia regional impact team for India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and the rest of the South Asian countries. We're in the middle of a capital fundraising campaign to fund a Central American Caribbean Regional Impact Center based in the region to better serve that region. All right, moving on then. How does ECHO actually accomplish its mission? We do it through the RICs, but what does it look like in practice? One of the things that we do is we connect. This is a screenshot of echocommunity.org. This is our formal networking and knowledge sharing platform. It is chock full of 43 years of practical ideas, options, and strategies. It's mobile enabled and it has many different languages that it is usable in. We also have an area where network members can connect with each other and share the concerns, the questions, the problems, as well as the successes they're facing. If you want to stay abreast of upcoming events, this is the place to go. Here's just some of the traffic from our echocommunity.org platform. And in the future, look for many enhanced user features in it in order to better connect people to the work of ECHO and each other. We have traditionally created publications. You can think of ECHO as the extension agent to the tropical, subtropical, developing world. ECHO Development Notes, or EDNs, we have been publishing since the early 80s. These are all available online, free to download as PDFs. And the best of these, topically, we create best practice notes from. So ECHO Community is the place to find these. And with lots of data guiding our strategic planning process, we've found that people really value and really implement what they learn through publications like ECHO Development Notes. We also have regional supplements of these notes. Here's an example of the East Africa note. You can see the different translations that we offer of these notes. These are professionally translated notes on topics that are specific to the regions. There tends to be wide applicability of these options and strategies globally, and part of our job is to amplify the good things that we are finding in the regions. But the specific notes for the regions tend to be really regionalized based on the cuisine, the culture, and the ecology. We also still have print publications. Many people in many places value print publications. There's nothing like being able to take a hard copy book out to the field. Not only does ECHO produce and print our own publications that we've authored and edited, but we also are looking for great information and resources of others and amplifying those. We are collaborative and not competitive. We want to save kingdom resources by finding great ideas and sharing those more widely to create impact. We also use media. We have videos and social media for amplifying some of these great options. Really, when I talk about ECHO, people ask, what is ECHO's impact and how do we have impact in the world? Well, we do that by the core functions. We do that by looking for strategies and options, running them through our core functions. We get those options and techniques into the hands of our network intermediaries. They're the ones implementing these, and they're the ones seeing the impact. We love it when they come back to us and tell us, we used option X, Y, and Z, and we've seen tremendous impact. Or we've used option X, Y, and Z, and nothing worked. Where do we go from here? So that's how we do it. We do it through all these ways that I'm sharing about now. One of the ways, we offer formal and informal consultations around the world to our network partners. We also have global and regional seed banks. The seed banking ministry is a fundamental part of ECHO's DNA. We have seed banks in every regional impact center, and we're looking for plants of merit in those regions that have an appropriate cuisine and agronomic entry point. We make trial packets of seeds freely available to our network members so they can try seeds of merit that have greater nutrition, better climate change adaptability to help improve lives and combat food insecurity and hunger. We have regional small farm resource centers at every one of our regional impact centers. These are training, research, demonstration areas where we host a huge variety of network partners and visitors and tours. While we're doing our research, we're demonstrating and we are learning and sharing from what we've learned around the world. We do smallholder and network relevant research. If there are questions emerging from the fields that farmers and their families have about how to grow a crop, how to market a crop, how to add value to a crop or livestock, we do research relevant to them. We do that, again, through the network and with the network. Sometimes it's ourselves, sometimes it's by being a conduit of these research questions and ideas back to our network. We also offer curated technical responses free of charge. Network members can reach out to us through email, through phone, through Echo Community, and we write responses curated to their needs. We use phone, we use radio, we use social media increasingly as well. We also do global training and equipping. I shared some of those venues with you with some of the pictures from our regional impact centers, but all the time, all over the world, we are co-hosting, we are coordinating regional, global, local training and equipping events. In North America, our next big event will be our International Agricultural Conference, which is happening the 12th through the 14th of November in 2024. You're all welcome to attend. To find out more, go to echocommunity.org. We always keep an updated list of all the training and events around the world. To find out more about our vision, our mission, our motivation, to learn more about the organization, www.echonet.org is the place to be for that. So I want to just thank you for being a part of something incredibly amazing that God is doing around the world. Something that's 43 years old, that's making a tangible difference in the lives of smallholder farmers, their families, and communities around the world. And you can join us. Please spread the word about Echo. Join us prayerfully and financially. Look for openings and staff positions, and be a part of something big that's happening globally. Thank you so much.